The 40-year-old virgin, master of the friend zone. Scott Jessup, known by all as Skippy, found his claim to fame on the TLC TV series Virgin Diaries, where we get a first look into the absolute state of this man, with the first of many awkward dates. From here, our story begins. For over 14 years, Skippy has been on a mission to find true love. Documenting his journey throughout, we bear witness to what is some of the most uncomfortable cringe known to mankind. In the beginning, not many people knew about Skippy. He was just some virgin that managed to make it on TLC. But on the 23rd of March, 2009, he posted his first docu-date with a girl named Paige. This was the first of many filmed dates, where we get to see Skippy in full swing and watch him absolutely destroy what could have been a nice date.
Own way, say, are you attracted to funny guys that take you out on dates?
Yes.
Really? So maybe you would make the world a better place and put a kiss on Skippy's face. Is that something that could be happening? Right in this region?
Okay, on the cheek. I don't kiss on the first date.
The cheek is part of the face.
There we go.
Yikes! Do I get a hug too?
Yeah.
But it wasn't until later, when Skippy appeared on another TLC documentary, where he gained a lot more exposure on the YouTube platform.
Before I give you this, and before I walk you to the door, I really do think that I did pretty good on this date. Maybe if I ask nicely, can I please just give you a kiss? And sometimes you just are horny and you just want a kiss and you want like some rough stuff, but not talk to Bishop rough, but you want kind of like, It doesn't have to be giant, but can I give you...
cheek. Does that work?
Can I just give you a kiss, please?
Kitty, I don't kiss on the first date.
A guy wanting to kiss a girl shouldn't be a shock to a cute girl. It should kind of be expected, right?
Oh boy. This is gonna be rough. Skippy might be short in stature, but he's by no means short of criticism. From big names such as H3H3, Abba and Preach, 16leo, Cody and Jamari, all reacting to his many cringe dates, as well as thousands of comments on his videos, providing genuine criticism and constructive feedback. Skippy still fails to learn and would deem such feedback as hate. Within 14 years on this platform, he continues to make the same mistakes by creeping out girls with his constant recording, endless hints of future marriage, rewarding girls for something in return, and a total disrespect for boundaries. I present to you, The Curse of Skippy. My first point is that Skippy shares way too much information. Personal information that you probably wouldn't want to share on a first date. In this clip, Skippy shares some details about his dating life, which goes down well.
I think I've had technically 3 girlfriends my entire life, kind of thing. And I've made out with, I want to say, I think it's 49 is the
you
number
made
of the
out
girls.
with 49 girls?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Only 3 relationships, kind of thing, you know?
If you think that's bad, it gets worse.
So sometimes people ask me, like, hey, Skippy, are you still virgin? And my goal is to wait and have sex until after I'm married, right? And so my reply back is 2 things. One, the title of the video. Oh, yeah.
Are you tonight?
Big secret. We didn't have sex. Oh, you were there. We didn't have sex earlier.
No sex.
You were conscious for the whole
No
day,
sex
right?
given.
Like, I shouldn't normally have to ask this, but can you let people know I didn't roofie you once, not even once tonight, right? How on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think the date went?
Good.
Bruh, I get that she was going along with it. You can just see how awkward it was getting. This is towards the end of the date as well. They're actually outside her house, so he knows where she lives, which will be important for later. Don't you worry. We'll see where this leads us. The next issue that I find with Skippy is that he has a very warped view on women. Not to be mean, but I think we can all agree that Skippy is no Gandalf. You might wonder why he goes on dates with girls that seem out of his league. The reason may just shock you because this is what Skippy has to say about that.
Hi guys, it's May 31st, 2015. You don't marry someone that's in your same weight class. That's what you do in wrestling. That's not what you do in marriage picking, you know? And then someone's like, oh, but you should go for the girls that are less pretty, right? But they still have to have a personality that has got to be somewhat with mine. And most girls that have my similar look, body structure or attractive level-wise, don't have personalities that keep up with what I would want because they're down on themselves in the sense about who they are. And don't get me wrong, I am too, but I still am ballsy and I still go do things, and I don't want to be around a Debbie Downer my whole life.
Now, this is just one of many examples here. But Skippy, mate, you can't just assume that all girls that aren't up to your standards aren't even worth a look. You assume that a girl that's in your league physically wouldn't be a match, and so you don't give them a chance. It's such a delusional and disrespectful view on women as a whole. And not to be mean, but you're kind of setting yourself up for failure here. I do respect the fact that he's going for women that he wants, rather than just making an exception and settling for just that. But for Skippy, one yes out of a million no's is a total of yes, meaning that it doesn't matter how many times he tries, it only needs to work once. In the video Thrift Store Groupie Part 2, Skippy goes on a date with a single mum to a thrift store. Now this video in particular is classic Skippy, very awkward, and in all fairness to the woman in this video, she entertains him on a lot of his comments. But it was this clip right here that really opened up my eyes to how Skippy views women.
So, what's going on?
Oh, you tell me, Skippy. Why are you acting oblivious? You're here.
I said to Tracy that when we pull up, we don't have to film it, but I'm going to give you a kiss. Not a giant make-out sesh or whatever, but just like we'll do a wrap-up video and then turn it off and then kiss you, because I've been wanting to kiss her the entire time. It's been a lot of fun. I've had
exactly
an absolute blast.
That's why we got to draw a line in the sand, son.
And that's why the occasional kiss, I think, makes it sweet and earned, because that's the whole thing. That
you think it's an earning, though. See how you have there's a price. So
but
that's not
no,
how
when
it works.
I know that what I bring to the table is personality. It's not looks, right? And so whereas like some guy gets a girl because he's earned her in that his looks are what he brings to the table,
Girls can't
right?
be earned because they are not possessions or valued prices or anything. Like no one can earn.
The sweet. Okay, what?
No one can earn another person.
When you do something good, you give a person like a sticker
reward.
or a reward kind of thing, right?
Or sometimes people just do things because it makes them feel good in their heart.
And that's what I've been doing, but my reward also for being this.
I think, no.
There's this idea that because he did something nice or went through the effort of taking someone out for a date, that he deserves a reward. To the 1% of females that watch my videos, it's akin to somebody buying you a drink at the bar. When you receive that drink, you inevitably feel that something is now owed. This is how Skippy views women. A prize to be had, something to be earned, instead of just a person to enjoy an experience with. And for a 40-year-old man, it's quite worrying to see. And that now leads us on to Skippy's next issue. Skippy struggles with boundaries. Anything from filming without permission, asking overly personal questions, to turning up to somebody else's house unannounced.
Heavenly Taylor picks the color black, and I had said at the beginning, would you like us to video this? And she's like, no, that does not sound good. What was your reason for not wanting to?
It sounded awkward, actually. I was like, videotaping our date. That's kind of peculiar. But then we were driving in the car and we saw 2 puppy dogs that were adorable. Like one was big and it was like one was like the miniature version of that dog. And I was like, we need a video camera out right now.
Yeah.
So here we are.
It is totally cute.
With a video camera.
In all fairness, this girl does go along with it throughout the video, but she clearly states at the beginning that she didn't want to be filmed in the first place. So of course, when there's an opportunity like these dogs that they found, Skippy pulls out his camera, films the dogs, which there is no footage of by the way, and instead of just leaving it at that, he proceeds to film the whole date anyway. I mean, come on Skippy, why do you have to film every hangout? Sorry, I mean date. Another example of failing to respect boundaries is that he has a tendency to ramble about everything, like anything that pops into his head, and I mean anything.
I don't know.
When was the last, how long since your last relationship? How long ago?
I don't know.
Over a year ago? How long is the longest relationship? You had like a 2 to 5 year relationship, didn't you? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's change the subject.
Let's do.
I mean, just look at her face. At some point in a relationship, which this isn't by the way, you do tend to have conversations about previous relationships. And usually that's within reason and you already know that person in the first place. But to ask it on your first date, when she's clearly thrown off by it, then to totally be oblivious to the situation in hand and to dig deeper by bringing up a deep relationship that she's had in the past, tells me 2 things. You're helplessly unaware of social cues and you don't consider how your questions would be received with no regard of how the other person may feel. But it's the fact that she actually had to tell him to
Let's change the subject.
and stop him in his tracks that makes it very clear that he doesn't understand what he's doing or how it's making this person feel. Now the stuff that I showed you was fairly tame in comparison to what we're gonna see now, because if you thought this stuff was bad, well then it gets worse. And I'm talking call the police kind of worse. I like to name this clip the Klondike Kiss.
It's ice cream.
Are those
It's
the best?
it's chocolate coated ice cream. No, they're not the best because I would even say their Oreo ones are better. But just
Oh,
the
are we
fact
having
that
it right here?
you don't have to
Let's
if you
sit
don't want to.
down. This is a surprise visit.
Yeah, no, I gave her 0 notice. In fact, I spent the majority of the day sending her messages saying, I don't get why you don't like me, essentially stuff like that. But she avoids talking about it every time I bring it up, like just wondering, just
Stop
a little
it.
bit.
Open these. Coding.
Hey Deanna, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Our milk and cream. There's no real seal on it. It's not a real dairy product. Quit it.
Oh, thank you. So this guy deadass turns up to this girl's house in a Domino's pizza shirt with Klondike bars unannounced. You see, in the previous date that you saw a little bit earlier, they actually drove up to her house, so he took her home. So he knows where she lives. And as he was going out and doing groceries near her house, he thought it would be appropriate to just turn up out of the blue. This is downright stalkerish, proper weirdo vibes. While editing this video, I just realized that there was actually a precursor to this. Yeah, this was foreshadowed in their date before this happened.
I actually already got a hug a little bit earlier.
And we never had Klondike bars.
We didn't, son of a gun.
Did you hear that? That is the moment of realization right there. This comment alone about the Klondike bars was what I think set this in motion. Skippy had a plan, he stuck to it, and somehow didn't get arrested. I hope you guys are feeling alright. I know I've shown you a lot of cringe, but this leads me on to my next point. Getting a kiss, hug, or even just holding hands is such a big deal for him that he feels the need to share it with his audience, leaving the girl in question both confused and creeped out.
You know what holding hands leads to?
Well, it depends on if the spirit went to bed or not.
You know what? No, I mean, you know what literally the holding hands led to, right?
Oh, on our date.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
You haven't told them already? I laid a big one on this man here.
I
Kissed him.
got kissed by her.
Yep. Yep.
Like on purpose, right?
I mean, dude, look, holding hands and getting a kiss is nice, but making a big deal out of it in front of the girl you're trying to impress just comes across really weird, alright? It comes across very needy. He's so deprived of a woman's touch that he feels the need to make a big deal out of it. Whether it's clear or not to them that it's a big deal to you, you don't need to make a point about it. This brings me on to Skippy's next big issue, is that he feels the need to reward his dates with a gift.
The date's kind of a surprise to her. She knows one thing about the date.
I know we're going to Ruby Tuesdays.
Two things about the date then. I guess three things. One, she knows we're going to a dollar store right now. Two, she knows that we're gonna eat at Ruby Tuesdays. And three, she knows that later she has a date gift coming to her.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
What she does not know is that she has the chance for a second date gift. And there is one other up in the air thing.
And by that he means a second date gift, not a second date gift. Just to clarify.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lol. This girl is smart. She caught him out on the second date gift. You see, what he was thinking is that she could get a chance for a second date with him to then be rewarded with another gift. But she caught him out on that because it's very clear that she doesn't want to go on a second date with him. And I like to stress this point right now, their date hasn't even started. But let's just keep on watching because this gets interesting.
Yeah, because there's no telling whether or not we'll ever go out again.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make that.
Yeah, no, I get it. You don't want to go out with me again. Or you're not sure if you would ever want to go out with me again. I get that. I speak girls sometimes.
That's not good.
That wasn't what was it you meant?
That's not what I said either.
You can see that he's clearly annoyed with her and makes this joke, I guess, which doesn't really go down too well. Look, these gifts are nice and all, but it's clear that these gifts are more of an incentive for going out on a date with him than something nice and special in the moment. Skippy clearly has a lot of issues that I don't think he's ever willing to accept. He has a lot of confidence, but in all the wrong places. I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to push any hatred towards Skippy either. I think he gets enough of that anyway. And I don't think he's necessarily a bad guy. Just very misled, quite clueless at times. And I think all he really needs to do is to work on himself, to understand that the constructive criticism that comes his way is only there to help. For all the years you've existed on this platform, Skippy, I think it's time for a big change. If you ever come to the UK, hit me up. I'm more than happy to help. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.